Do a starting shot. Yeah, my spray tan.
Yeah, and then that's alcohol. That's
right,
alcohol. Oh, got it.
You ever seen the Tom Segura podcast, Whiskey Bourbon? Whiskey Ginger. I wish they would get more drunk on it.
I don't do shots.
Well, you poured yourself a big enough one. You see, You look like you do them.
Your tummy.
I know. Salute, everyone. Cheers.
Oof.
Oh. All right.
My nippies. I don't do shots.
So, the reason I wanted to do this was because I'm going to take this off, otherwise I'm going to have to edit the dangly noise out.
ASMR?
Yeah. Hello. The reason I wanted to do this was because when I was on the podcast the other day, I felt so fucking uncomfortable. I was sitting there and I kept like hiccuping on my words. And I was in my chair, and I think that I was like sitting Indian style so tight that like my knees, behind my knees, started sweating.
And I told you, I said, you sounded great. I couldn't even tell that you were nervous. And I thought you were very well spoken. You articulated very well. And I even said, your vocabulary is awesome.
When I was listening back to it today, I was like, actually, I listened to it at 12:02 when it came out.
Oh.
Because I was like,
you messaged me very early in the morning. I'm like, oh, she was up very late last night.
Yeah, I did sleep a little bit, but no, I just felt really uncomfortable, and it's weird for me to I've been listening back to season 1 because I think that you hear things different things than even you heard the second time, the third time, and so with this whole new development with the new victim. And so many people listening to it, I kind of almost have to go back. It's like when you look at your own profile. You don't, you know what I mean?
You always adjust it a little bit.
Yeah, you're
because
maybe I
should
remove this one or whatever. So I kept listening to it, and there's a few where I'm jotting things down in my notes, and I'm just like, okay, I'll change those. I'll get around to it. And I never will, but I just remember how comfortable I was, and it was such a good therapeutic thing. And so I was like, I need to do this more often, and
just
not
get
always
back on the mic.
And not always having to do with the seasons, but think about what Theo Von does. He sits there by himself on the mic and talks about absolutely nothing.
I love that man.
I know, he's so cute and so funny, and sometimes I feel like the people he has on don't get him.
I do. I would like to marry him.
Cat Williams, he was on there, and he just did not get his white humor. He kept being like, huh?
Was it he has a statue in his house and it was a nutcracker or something like that?
He would just do those weird stories where he's like, oh yeah, I went to that man's funeral. And Cat's just, it's sarcastic comedy, but he's not a sarcastic comic. So it was really weird to watch. I had to turn it off.
What would you say Cat Williams is though? What kind of comic is he?
Black comic. Not in a racist way, but when comics describe getting themselves approval from the comedian, I don't know, all the other comedians, they'd be like, if he's a white guy, he'll be like, I've been accepted by the black comics and by the white comics, because they do two totally different things. Yeah. The same, but different.
They're just respected and
yeah.
I got you.
Because there's white comics that are they talk they don't care what they say, so.
Bert Kreischer.
Kreischer. I like Tom Segura. I think he's really funny.
I've seen him twice.
Live?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I want to see him live so bad. I think he's coming to Chicago.
Probably.
Yeah, I want to see him. He reminds me of my brother. That weird smile he does, at the end of his jokes.
And I love his wife.
Yeah, she's really funny.
She's a saint. I actually had tickets to Tom Segura, and it was a couple of months ago, maybe 2 months ago. And
He was here?
Yeah. I got tickets. They were last minute, and it was the worst seats ever, but I bought him literally a couple days prior.
Oh, he was at the United Center.
Yeah. And then I didn't go.
What the fuck?
I just wasn't.
I would have just went, even just to stand outside and listen, because from the time he like does the tour, like the tour he's doing right now, it's not going to be online for like 2 years, and it pisses me off.
So I guess I'm a little butthurt because I went in, maybe it was November, December. I bought tickets to Matt Rife.
Oh yeah, he's cute, and he canceled his tour. Yeah.
Well, he canceled his tour the year before, so this was the reschedule of that tour. And I had really good seats.
Oh, you would have been picked on hardcore.
Well, not those. No, they were not. It was like maybe 10 rows back. I got kicked out before it started.
What the fuck? Why?
I think I told you this.
I don't remember.
Well, so I had my phone out, and they said no phones, but I was in the aisle seat, and I literally had my phone out because I just wanted to record him, them introducing him.
Yeah.
Like just saying, and welcome, Matt Rife.
Right.
You know, and everybody's clapping. He didn't even say any material yet.
Yeah.
So I just had, I even said, look at my phone. But I had it. It was like, welcome, Matt Rife. And I had my phone out, and the security guard literally said, you got to go. You got to go right now.
Did he grab your phone?
Oh, they escorted me out, and then I literally said, can I talk to your manager? Can I talk to somebody higher up? And I said, you want to look at my phone? I literally have zero content, nothing. I just wanted that like introduction. He goes, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry, ma'am. You got to go. You got to go.
Was he recording?
Was who recording?
Was Matt Rife recording for like a special? Because sometimes if they're recording.
Well, he literally didn't even say one joke. He walked out onto the stage. Everybody was still clapping. Yeah. He didn't even say one thing.
Well, I think it's because
it was less than 30 seconds.
I don't think that it's I know that they don't want anybody to record basically ever, but I think that if like that specific in Chicago on that day was the day they were recording his new Netflix special or something.
No, they weren't. It was the actual. It was the last. So it was the day before New Year's Eve. It was in December, and
Chicago Theater.
I believe I don't remember.
The one with the big Chicago on the outside.
Girl, yes.
Like the marquee.
Yes. Yeah, the old like Hollywood
yeah.
And like I said, it was a year rescheduled, and he said this is the last episode of this actual tour because it was literally rescheduled for so like far in advance.
Yeah,
anyways, I was so pissed.
And he got in trouble, right? Didn't he get in trouble for something? They tried to cancel him or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, I know why.
I don't remember why. Why was it? Oh, because he said something bad. Obviously, but what was it?
He was he cheated on his girlfriend, and then they found out, so they did the cancel tour. But he was body shaming on, I think, Stiff Socks podcast.
I don't know who that is.
Michael starts with a B. He's so fucking funny. I love him.
Wasn't it all? There was like one joke that he said it about the black eye thing? Like his waiter came up and he said, "What'd you do for that?" or something. Like I heard him talking about.
Yes, it was about this is two parts. It was making fun of somebody who got like beaten up by a man.
Yeah, like domestic violence.
Yeah, so he was just cracking a joke. Obviously, it was in like. Bad humor.
Yeah, it's in jest. I mean, he's literally a comedian.
Yeah, but this other one was because he was talking shit about his girlfriend's private parts, like her labia, and saying like an innie or an outie, and then his girlfriend literally was listening to him say on TV, literally, I can't stand outies, like as far as like labias, and she's like, I have a fucking outie, what the fuck? And she's listening to him talk about like negatively about like pretty much her genitals, and it was so just in bad taste, and like there was an uproar. The females like went batshit crazy. So
I don't know, I have feelings about this because I feel like as a comedian it's your job to like broach, like comedians should not be politically correct. And they should do things that make you go, And then you realize inside you're like, that's a little funny. I can laugh about it. I can't laugh about it anywhere else besides this theater, but here it's okay. And I feel like him making a joke about it, innie or an outie, that like, what is the difference between me like
doing a little dick joke?
Yeah, or like saying Dick has a little dick.
Yeah.
Because who's Dick? I don't know. Anonymous person.
Yeah, you're right.
If you're not putting a name to it, it's like crazy. But then like to cancel him for that, I get that like female power is like very strong and stuff on the interwebs, but like people say like racist jokes flat out.
Yeah, no, it just rubbed it. Well, she is very, very in public.
Yeah.
So she got butthurt, in which I totally get that.
Well, and all of his fans are women.
And actually, she retaliated, and like it is what it is. But don't, if you want to date a comedian.
Yeah, like I was like, you like just broke into jail kind of with that.
Yeah,
do you
you're
think that,
giving him material.
Have you ever heard a male comedian who is married, even ones that have girlfriends, even ones that are like just male and have had girlfriends? All they talk about is their wives, their kids, their exes, their current girlfriends.
I mean, it's giving him content.
Yeah, it reminds me of
what is going on here?
Zach Bryan and that whole thing.
Yeah.
I forget what her name is because I love Zach Bryan music, but I didn't
Barstool.
follow.
She was Barstool.
Yeah.
Chicken Fry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where like she really, really tried hard to cancel him.
Oh, I mean, she did a decent job too. I mean, she got under his skin, and
I think he wrote better music.
But he also lost his shit publicly. Like you could
I'm
tell,
sure. His
anger. He was like screaming, and I do think he probably was acting the way that.
I don't deny it. Yeah. I don't think that anything that she says is false. It more than likely is true, because let's think about like the type of person that is, right? It's very similar to Dick. It's very similar to an ex that you have, like all of these things.
Kevin.
Because, Kevin.
I'm like, what is his name again?
Kevin. We're like, but imagine this. The love bombing is a song globally. Fuck, that's gotta hit so hard, though. Can you imagine? But baby, I love you. I wrote a song about you.
Yeah, but...
Woo! You're the sun to me. If that was for me, he could do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like...
And also being the public eye, but it's like she had an army. And that's actually a really good point, that she felt safe enough to fight back instead of taking with all the Diddy.
$4 million?
I thought it was like 15.
I think it was 4. It might have been 4 or 14. I know it was a 4.
I think we'll Google it, but...
Riley, can you Google that? Oh my God, I always wanted to do that so bad.
Who's Riley?
From the Theo Vaughn podcast. You know how he's always like, Riley, can you pull that up for me, please?
We need an assistant. One of your dogs need to pull it up.
Monza, can you pull that up for me, please?
No, but it really, with the Diddy cases and everything, everybody's getting, like, paid off.
Yeah, well, you would think, though, that if, to be honest, I'm going to tell you what I would do. I would take the money. I would still talk. Because what? What are you going to give me on? Breach of contract?
I don't know.
Sure, give me on that. You ain't going to give me on defamation if it's true.
Ooh.
Why are you offering me money if it's false? I don't know. That's the shit that I always think of.
I'm like, well, that's something. Well, I'm sure someone has thought of that, though. And there's got to be, somebody who has so much money.
Yeah, like, they probably have a really good legal team.
Yeah. Diddy had a medical team, too. And he had an abortion team. And he had a whole bunch of other teams.
An abortion team? What do you mean?
Well, when he would do the things that he allegedly did, he would have, like, somebody there who had a medical kit to administer certain things so they wouldn't conceive a child.
Well,
like a plan B kind of thing.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what? Why would they do the procedure? It would be too early.
Like a plan, like insert.
Yeah, okay. So they had like John Goodman from Flight, where he like goes and opens the briefcase for Denzel and it's got all the drugs out there. Essentially, it was that, but it was like Plan B and condoms and spermicidal lube.
Probably no condoms, but yes.
You think?
Like a lot of baby oil.
I like baby oil. Not gonna
Not.
lie.
It's not gonna.
Hey, you
your
know what?
pH balance is gonna
Let me
be
just tell
fucked.
you guys, it does not. You should not go in your vagina.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on.
Should not go in your vagina.
She likes baby oil though. No, I love it.
Learn it the hard way. I don't know what to tell you. It's
baby oil photographs very, very well. By the way, if you're a photographer and you want that special effect, but it soaks in the skin very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And it has a nice little shine. So.
Do you remember when you were doing Dick's photo shoot session and I had to put the baby oil on him and it kept like going away, it kept sucking up into his dry skin?
I remember telling you that. I don't remember, that part, but I literally was like, okay, you lube him up. I'm so glad that you're here right now.
I was going to use one of those pictures because I took a picture in one of the mirrors at the Dole Mansion. And just like doing like just behind the scenes, right? I think you were literally taking pictures of him. And I just like snapped a little one, whatever. I was going to use it as one of the look at how horrible I look during the relationship pictures. In one of that, in that post the other day.
When I saw you, that was the first time I met you. I thought you were beautiful. I didn't picture you any different now, but I didn't notice or recognize that you were hurting or stressed out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't aware of all that. I just knew he was a tool. Yeah. Like, when he came into my studio, I'm like, there's something off about this man. That's all. That's all I gotta say.
A lot of things off about that man.
This is strange. And he didn't want to come. He was like pissed.
He was pissed.
When it's like over $2,000 worth of like photos.
Do you know like what he honestly was like at my dad's house in their office. And this is the craziest thing because obviously his job was camming, and so he would be up there, and my dad had, I don't know why this was such a huge point of contention for him, but he was like, I don't want Dick to like close the door. Because it was at my dad's house and then at up the top of the stairs, the office. And, like, my dad has guns in there. My dad has all the files in there. My dad has, like, a lot of things in there. And I was like, okay, yeah. So, like, I told him, don't close the door. Not only did he close the door, but he locked it. So there was a few times, and my dad and my stepmom thought that he was, like, conducting business.
I mean, he technically.
Yeah. But there are videos on the internet
of
him in my dad's office. And my stepmom's military photo is in the fucking corner.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And he's not even thinking about it.
No.
And like, because it's all about him and nobody else or who could be hurt or damaged with all. Yeah.
Not at all. And it's like, he doesn't really care about his location. Like, I'm pretty positive if he could get Wi-Fi to stream in a cave or, like, in a garbage dumpster.
Like a bathroom at the airport.
Anywhere. Because you should have seen the home that he had when he lived in Colorado. I don't know what the situation was, but it was, like, sometimes he would leave the room and, like, sisters of friends would always screen record and they'd be like, what is going on? Like, is he in a halfway house? Is he this? He had a bed on the floor, like all of this weird stuff. But again, it's like, it doesn't matter because in his eyes, he's going to make $1,000.
But he's living the most extravagant life, doing all the things, but he doesn't have a bed frame.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to Emily like 2 days ago and I was like,
and Emily is
the new, the newest victim of Dick's who reached out to me. She lives in the UK. She has a large following on social media. She also does adult content and other like influencer stuff. But she experienced like the exact same thing as all of us. And when she started digging, she found what's there to find. And she was like, thank you, you saved my life.
And this is real time. Like, this is happening right now.
Yeah, this is
like
happening
as
of
now. 2 weeks ago, correct?
Well, like when was I in Arizona? It was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So this is real time.
Maybe it's like 3 weekends ago. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's all pretty new. And the podcast number, I think the podcast download numbers are up like today, like 3,100%.
Yeah, because it's resurfacing. There's a new victim. So it's never going to stop.
There's a new country. Like it's like the U.S. had been 97%.
Okay.
Forever.
Well, that's great.
If you look within the last 3 weeks, the U.S. is like down to like the 6th spot. And it's like evenly split between like Ireland and the UK. And then there's like all these other like bordering countries. And then the
Well, there you
US.
go.
And I'm like, oh, okay, we just need to tell him to go global a little bit more. Go to Australia, dude. No.
Let's just expand.
Yeah, but it was it's interesting because I when she asked me questions or like when I try to explain something to her about my experience, because she has listened to the podcast, but I don't know how far, and I also don't want to be like, listen to my podcast, you know, like.
Well, I mean, I'm sure she
Yeah, went pretty far,
yeah.
like, and I understand that like hearing it's 50 hours, 50 something hours, but when I explain my experience with him, I do it from like my perspective now. So I'd be like, yeah, he did that, and he did that, of course. Well, fuck him, fucking homeless loser, and like I'll say shit like that, and I said it, and like her and her best friend were laughing, and I'm like, no, but for real though, think about this and like what we know, and as far as Dick likes to say, like only facts matter. What are the facts about him? He is homeless. He does not and cannot get a job. There's a global podcast made about him showing his predatory nature to multiple 10 plus victims. Like,
At what point is he going to be in jail for doing that?
Yeah.
That's what pisses me off about our system.
yeah.
Is that you can be a criminal in so many different ways other than going to a store and stealing something. You can take somebody's identity, and it's so hard to get in trouble for it. You can steal bank account numbers. You can steal their, like, essentially their soul. You can change their, like, mental health and brain wavelengths and create trauma and paranoia and anxiety. But that is not, like, chargeable.
Yeah, it's because there's no proof. The proof is your experience. Like when it goes a little bit further and it's like financial, it's more provable, obviously.
Yeah, because it's on
but
paper.
At the same time, no one is in your four walls of your home besides you two. So if there's $12,000 charged to Amanda's credit card, and
Right.
I say, yeah, Dick told me like that he would pay me back. That's literally my word against his. And nobody's there to like say, well, you know, like, yeah, that's right, I heard that, or
Yeah.
yeah, it's really, really, really messed up, and it's honestly crazy to hear like Millie talk about how he would have been charged there, like the process. Like she essentially told me that, like, in this situation, had I found all of this out while he was here, and had he done like the financial stuff to her, all she would have had to have done is call like the police, like the local, like if I was calling the Huntley PD, they would come and they would take a report, and if there was additional documentation, you send it in. The moment you make the report, it's like a mandatory protection order. Mandatory. I got laughed at when I tried to file for my order of protection in Vegas. Like, they're like, sorry, we can't issue orders of protection for some guy being an asshole. Like, that's what the lady said to me, and I was like, you got me fucked up.
Here's your shot glass.
Yeah, I'm like,
No, it's hard because, like, I have a girlfriend who literally had a business, and her ex went in and cut the power of her security cameras and then messed with a whole bunch of other stuff, and they still weren't going to do anything about it.
what?
Yeah.
Well, that's like destruction of property, even. Like,
They couldn't prove it was him, and he would call on all
why?
these
Because there was
crazy-
no video. Okay, the cameras.
Yeah. I mean, it's bizarre, but
Oh, salud.
cheers. I'm like, I'm drinking my mixer here, so cheers. The shot skis I just can't do.
Woo. I don't know why. Like, they've been just hitting me more. I feel like,
We're getting older, heartburn.
well, like me and the guy, when we go out, you know, we drink a beer and that all night until
Beer and
we're
a
just
shot.
like just completely blitzed.
And I told you, I was like, I'm like, fine, I'll do one. And then I'm like, nope, Uber. Like, I need an Uber home.
Yeah, we just like haven't been drinking that much. There's just been like a lot of stuff going on, and it's not a bad thing, because I was never a whiskey. I have never ever drank whiskey before. I would be like, no, I'm thinking I'll have a lemon drop.
Oh.
Yeah, not a whiskey girl.
Like, oh, that's all I've seen you drink. But anyways.
Yeah, now, right?
Anyways.
Like, I'm like, ooh, it goes down smooth, but like
nice
not
and
really.
warm and cozy.
Yeah, so
Tennessee whiskey.
it's been a real weird and crazy time, I guess. We went off on a tangent. Why were we even talking? Oh, because I was
supposed
like,
to do.
yeah. But like, why did I say that? Oh, because I wanted to say like, how weird is it that you were like, both of us and the other girls were like so sprung over this dude who's literally homeless. Like, that's a fact. That it doesn't.
Not me, but you girls.
Yeah, no,
I was sprung over something totally different.
Yeah, no, you're not involved in the dick saga.
I'm not, but I am semi-tied into it just because I photographed him. And
well,
now,
you have firsthand,
like interaction.
Yeah, interaction with him. There's so many people who feel like they know him because of social media, but do not know him.
Yeah, he is very grandioso on social media, but again, when I saw him for the first time, I was not impressed. I literally thought he was batting for the same.
Rude.
Like, yeah, he was just. I was doing a photo shoot for free, but he was very entitled, and when he opened his mouth, the way he spoke, it just made me cringe to the point. Even if he was single and I went on a first date, I would have been like, nope. Like, that's an ick for me. His voice
like,
is
Ashley
an ick.
added to the bottom of her very long checklist of qualifications.
Nope.
Not have Dick's voice. Like,
it's an ick. I'm like, nope.
Hates it, and it's so funny.
Ugh.
I finally actually cringe from it, which I think is great because
you
now
finally cringe from it.
I do. Because like I'll have to watch back videos and stuff, and he'll be like singing to me, and I'll be like, I can't fucking believe that I thought this guy was a good singer. Like, that just goes to show you how much of a haze, like just a delusional fog that I was in.
I remember being on the phone with my girlfriend after the shoot, and I was like, that dude is just off. Like, just weird. And then I'm like, I think he's bisexual for sure. And trust me, there's no hate here whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm borderline bisexual, and I love all the communities. But when you come in with somebody who's married, and you totally give off bi vibes, I'm like,
had I told you that he did adult content prior to the shoot?
No, I had no idea because like, I wasn't sure because I was just practicing on men. Like, I had 5 different body types.
Yeah.
And I definitely wasn't pushing anything risque.
Yeah.
And if you would have told me that, I might have like changed my like dynamic a little bit. But I really wasn't even.
Well, you would have given him a cucumber, like that's the only thing that would have made it more. I mean, more
when he was like under, I was like, I'm gonna turn around, and then, are you okay with a sheet? Like a sheet? He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
he just stripped down. I remember.
I would have just been a little bit different, but now my whole dynamic has changed. So
yeah, it's interesting because like as an with my ex-husband being a content creator, like having new content is always something that I feel like, and I also managed girls, right? So it's like having new content is something that you need to have all the time. And like, as a person who would take the content, you get tired of it. Like it's like, oh, can't we like reuse this? Let's repost this. And that's why people like start, if they're up here, they start to plateau and they go downhill because you always have to keep it interesting, right? So what the fuck is better than me finding a local, where we're at, actual professional photographer who I know does good work for free? Yeah. It was like a gift. Like, it literally was like, I didn't even tell him I was doing it. And it was like, hey, surprise.
And then he was so irritated.
Oh my God. He just wanted to sit in my dad's office.
Yeah.
That's all he wanted to do.
And I could tell he really wasn't into it. Really, he was just there to be there, and it was, again, grandiose. So like, I'm doing him a favor, and I'm working for free. You know, like, I'm not making any money off of this. Trust me, my clientele is not ripped abs and model-esque. Like, I want the everyday body. I want to empower people that don't necessarily get in front of the camera all the time. So he was not
someone who wants to be in front of it.
Yeah, so
2858.
Again, I picked 5 men, and I went from dad bod to like plus size, and then I obviously had Dick, who was on the more buffer, but he was a douchebag, and I don't mean that in like a drug. He was just a fucking
No, you
loser.
should mean it in a derogatory way, like because he is a douchebag, and like there's no other, like it's not a lie. It's not even being mean at this point, right? Everybody's always like, well, I don't want to be rude, but and it's like, no, your feelings are valid. You can say them.
At the end of the day, I want to grow up. When I grow up, I want to make sure that I'm better than the day before. And if I was Dick at this very moment in time, I would really take a step back and reflect on who I am. And if I'm just going to continue on this destructive path of just selfishness and like loathe, and like he's like the 7 deadly sins. Like, I shit you not.
Yeah.
He will end up a miserable bald. There's nothing wrong with bald, but it is in his category because hardly anybody's going to make it when they're bald and doing adult content. I'm just going to say it. But, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, hold on one second.
Karma's going to get you. Karma's going to get you.
Carrera?
And we have a humongous cow dog.
My dog is...
A Mastiff, or no, a Great Dane.
Yeah, she has like all these lumps all over her, and she constantly drinks water, and it just...
Oh,
now we have a throwing up other Great Dane.
I love this.
Hey! Hold on. I have to move this water bowl. There's actually not a worse sound for me than dogs drinking water. Some people are like, I don't like when dogs lick themselves. No. Lick all you want. Oh my god, she goes in here and finds it.
Well, we're just going to edit it out.
Well,
It's okay.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Life happens.
This is Amanda's Great Dane Hospice. No, so the reason that you're able to like say that is because you have a normal thought process. It's a normal human thing to look back on your life and want to make improvements every day and to accept that the choices that have gotten you to where you are were your choices, right? Like, even for me, I was a victim, correct. But at some point I had to be like, yes, victim, that means he's a predator, but also what part did I play in this? And that is a normal thought process for a regular human being. Dick, on the other hand, does not have, like, it's hard to conceptualize as regular people because he doesn't have the ability to be reflective.
Almost like a psycho or sociopath.
Yeah, like in an accountability way. Like, it's nothing is ever his fault. Perpetual victim mentality. And, you said, like, he's eventually going to live in a hell. And he already does. And that is something that, like, my therapist said to me. She's like, you don't have to hate him. You never have to forgive him. She's like, but your gift is empathy, right? And I was like, yeah, of course. And she's like, think about what he thinks about when he's laying in his bed alone right before he falls asleep. That is like living in
Do you think
real
that
life
he
purgatory.
even like acknowledges that?
Like,
because
comprehends it?
Yeah.
I do.
You
and
do?
I do think that he comprehends it. And I think that that's why his baseline, when he's not like with a new host, right? Like, to be a parasite off of, like, is depressed. Like, his baseline is depressed.
And then, like, circling around, because I know my season hasn't, like, shot off yet, but with my ex, Kevin, I always wonder, because he never feels like he's at fault. Or...
Right.
I know I'm stubborn because I'm Polish, and the thing is I'll take accountability when I was wrong in this whole process. It's very, very hard for me to say sorry for things. Mm-hmm. I'll realize that I'm in the wrong, and it's just really hard for me to actually like verbalize, hey, listen, I'm sorry. I will need that like 20 minutes or 24 hours to like have that like space to admit that I was wrong.
But you get there, though. That's the whole point, is that you arrive to it eventually.
I know what I did wrong in all of my past relationships, and I have applied them, and that's why I'm still legit single.
Yeah.
Because I had to do the work. Whereas, circling back, Kevin, my ex-fiance, literally has hopped from one, just like Dick, one relationship to another, to another, to another, and they never ever do the actual, it's like fake inner work, right? Like, didn't Dick just say he wanted with Millie?
I was thinking about the topics that we were talking about that we were going to cover, and one of them was he's not healing, he's just hiding.
Yes.
And this is almost
Period.
like isn't it almost like how you would, I kind of picture like a butterfly or like a caterpillar going into a cocoon, and like everyone fully expects that the caterpillar is going to come out a butterfly.
And he comes
because he's just going in and he's learning so much about himself and he's doing therapy and inner work. No one can see him. Social media is gone. Whatever it is. Just he gets out of the complete opposite of what he was doing before. Yep. And then
he comes out a caterpillar.
He comes out a fucking worm. Like it's worse than
like a pupa or the fucking little like grub.
It's a
little grub.
Yeah, it's a fucking he's a wax worm, dude. Like I don't know how to make it any more like visual because
a maggot.
Yeah. He's like the things that you watch videos they pull out of like cats' noses on TikTok. Like those things. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, those like bot flies.
Oh yeah. He's a bot fly,
dude.
He's a bot fly. Wanna know why? Because like you know how they like put their on their skin has like the little claw things in it. Stop. That's him. That is him. But if you don't see him and you don't see the narcissistic, both of them, the narcissistic, or you aren't experiencing like the constant everyday like manipulation and the gaslighting, all the stuff that they do in real time every day. Out of sight, out of mind. Maybe he's healing.
Were you blamed for cancer?
I was blamed for male pattern baldness brought on by steroid use.
I was blamed for thyroid cancer.
Yeah.
And also, I was blamed for cheating too.
For him?
Yeah. It was my fault. It was my fault.
You didn't give me what I wanted.
No, it was my fault that he cheated on his current girlfriend.
Wait, you're talking about like when you're not in
Kevin
in any relationship with him anymore?
Correct. And I'm a parallel parent. I don't even look at him. Our drop-offs are so just nothing. We don't even look at each other. But I caused him to be a...
Has he literally said that verbatim?
Oh, yeah. Well, it took him... I mean, I don't want to disclose the story.
Yeah, don't disclose the story, but
yeah.
When did he say that? Like, how many months ago?
Was it January? 3 months ago? We haven't been together for 4.5 years, but it's my fault. I photoshopped everything and all of the timestamps and the text messages that had nothing to do with me.
It's really unbelievable to me, like how far people will go to. It's not even a good lie. It's not even a good lie or a good accusation. People. Yes,
hurt people.
Just like Griffin said, one of my favorite DJs. But that's fucking crazy. Can you imagine him saying that to anybody else but you, and them being like, "Oh yeah, you don't say, huh? Really?" I believe you.
Ashley's a liar. Ashley made that up. The other girl made that up. It's like,
Wait, but why? Why does whatever you say or you do cause him to stick his dick inside someone else?
Not only stick his dick, but...
I was like, wait, what's worse?
Power washing a deck and doing hard labor.
Oh, like husband stuff?
Like husband, boyfriend stuff.
Oh, so he like emotionally cheated and all of this stuff. Oh.
Yeah.
He's really sad. All of it actually makes so much sense, like when you think of it. I'm gonna close this door really quick. Just
it's chilly. Like
I know I left it.
It's all like nippies and shit. I was trying not to say anything, but I'm like, oh my god, it's cold. But yeah, the one thing I do want to disclose, just like all of the victims in your story with Dick, they're all really wonderful women.
Yeah.
And this is not like a jealousy thing whatsoever. every single woman that Kevin has dated and been with, I respect to the fullest extent, and I actually like them as people. I've met all of them except one. However, it was his very, very first one, and I like them all. And I think that they're wonderful. And
they're
I think
probably just like you.
they're cool as shit. Yeah, actually, absolutely. I would hang out with, we would have a family at this point. Like, we would have a whole family. And I know that's like cringe, but I'm sorry, but when there's a common denominator and that is you and you suck, the problem might be you.
It's always you. It's like, what do I say all the time? Like, doing the same thing, expecting different outcome is insanity. And that's literally what these men are. And this is coming from someone who has...
And it could come from a woman, too.
Right,
like,
yeah. Like, in our experience as men, right?
Like we're not hating on men. We're just hating on the situation.
One of the things that I think that I get across, would you agree, very clear, is that I promised myself I would never, ever, ever become jaded. That I would never be like the person who was like, fuck men because of what Dick did. Because I was like, no, I'm going to continue to be open to love.
You've lectured me, actually.
Yeah,
you've done that. Actually, I was like, ooh, I might be that person. And you've lectured me. And you're like, Ashley, you can't do that.
You're on the slippery slope.
I'm on the spectrum right there.
Yeah,
and we'll talk about the spectrum in a minute.
Yeah.
But I know there's some times where I'm like, I'm so toxic. And I'm like, I don't like this. I
don't necessarily think that it's a bad thing to like have your guard up.
It's up.
Your guard up is a defense mechanism, and that's totally like warranted, because if you have been punched in the face and someone goes at you, you're going to flinch. Like, it's just how our bodies work. The thing that I think is bad about it is that we lose like the femininity and the softness.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
And so, like, this is a cycle. And I think remember you took that Snapchat video of me the other day, where it's like...
The one with the smiley face?
Yeah, with like the big mouth.
That was great.
All of the things that men are like, I can't find a woman, blah, 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 who likes to cook and like, they are like so at that standard where they're like, I want just the stereotypical gender role. Okay, but then why do you go out and swipe on Tinder on Saturday nights and bring somebody home for a one-night stand? Because if you actually wanted that, you would see how that's such a domino effect. Because what if the woman said no? You'd be like, well, fuck you, bitch. And then her whole persona, all of the sweetness, and she thought she was doing the right thing, and maybe she liked you. What if that girl who was sweet and soft and feminine and actually had values and standards then would be like, I think this is my demon era.
Yeah.
And she becomes one of those girls on the internet. Mm-hmm. And you can see the switch in people.
I'm like, it's my villain era. It's my Dommy Mommy era. I'm all about it right now.
And I think that that's okay. I think that is a good phase to go through. But you can't stay in that shit too long.
I'm at the point in my life where it's like, I'm not going to start another family. I will conjoin a family.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to meet a man who has children, because I feel like the men who are like never married, no kids, that's a red flag for me. Just, it's not a red flag, but it's something that's not something that I want, because they're not going to understand time management, and that I'm going to put other humans ahead of them.
I think that logically makes
valid.
sense, and actually you probably experienced it, so it's probably factual.
Yeah.
But I think that some of the best relationships of people that I know who are single mothers are with people without children, because maybe that person actually never wanted children, so the concept of even having them never came into play. And so when they do meet somebody who has children, it's like you actually get to like watch the love grow.
I feel like it's a time management issue, whereas like somebody who's never had kids, they don't have any concept what it might be like to literally have your schedule revolve. And I have 3 children. And not only do I have 3 children, but I have one in elementary, middle, and high school at this point. And not only do I have that, I have one full-time and the other 2 50-50, but I cater to Kevin's schedule. I mean, it's literally the 2 children and me cater to one motherfucker. We all cater to him. No one caters just to the children. We all cater to this grandioso man behind the badge.
I don't think that that's time management, though. I think that that's...
No, I guess I'm like
compromise.
I'm saying I have so much, like my schedule changes every 3 months. I cater to so many different dynamics that like somebody who actually wants a solid relationship, it's going to be so hard for them to understand that my availability is shit.
Well, so 2 things. First thing, I've never had children. And my life revolves around my dogs. And while it's not the same as children in, you know, traveling sports and having to share them with the husband, everything that I do, they're too big. My family cannot take care of them. It's like having 2 kids with disabilities almost, right? I have to change them. And so I think,
literally, we've been sniffing farts all day long.
My boy dog he wears diapers.
Bad.
But so I think it might do you a disservice though to make that assumption, because I think that there are people, and maybe like it's not the norm, it's the exception, but
that I'm just saying it's a red flag for not a red flag. It's okay. It pushes me back a little bit. I'm not gonna easily swipe right on somebody if they're like never married, no kids.
Oh my God, Ashley.
Yeah.
Just from their profile?
What?
Just from their profile? What if they took care of their mother who died of cancer through her whole entire illness, 1 through 4 stages?
Let's get some feedback. I would love like this side versus this side. I mean, as a mom and as in the dating world and all this shit, like let's fucking go. Let's go toe to toe. I'll agree to disagree. I'm just saying, I would love a daughter. Like, I'm going to manifest that shit. I would love to date a man who actually had a daughter because I have 3 beautiful boys. And I always wanted to experience, like, that side of...
Yeah, but are you willing to compromise and give
yes,
that
I'm not
part
saying
up
I'm not.
for somebody who doesn't have kids?
Yes. I'm just saying if I'm in, like, the toxic swipe world, that is something I will look at and I'll be like, oh, that's going to be a problem. Because I'm over here in my DMs, if I look at somebody who doesn't have kids, they're like, why didn't you respond to me? Why didn't you I'm like...
Also...
What the fuck?
They could just put that they don't have kids. Because maybe they want people... Maybe they want to avoid people like you.
That's fine.
I don't know, though. Is it?
Then it's
I don't know.
I mean, there's so many... I mean, we could have went out to dinner, and he could have had a voice like Dick, and I still would have been like, nope.
Sure, and that's valid. That's valid.
I mean...
But to judge somebody whether or not they'd be a good partner for you based off of...
Or judge them because they have a crazy voice like Dick.
But, like, don't you think that maybe if somebody is an adult and has had a career and has actually made, like, solid choices about, like, I don't want to be with you anymore, you want kids, I'm not at that point, and took the responsibility and stepped back, and now they're getting put into the, like, swipe left folder because they made good choices for their future, isn't it what you want, to have someone who provides?
I'm not looking necessarily for somebody who's going to provide. I guess I just want somebody to understand the level that it takes to literally just give up so much for little humans.
I think then you need to understand what it gives up to not have little humans. Because choosing not to have children is also a major choice too. And so that could be conscious, it could be unconscious, it could be intentional, it could be
well, the unconscious, or if they want to not have children, then all they've known is only managing themselves.
That's not true. They could have been in a relationship with a single mom right before they joined Tinder.
That is true. See? But I'm just going to stick with my fucking opinion.
It's too black and white for me.
I'm just going to...
You gotta let some of the gray in, and
it's not a hard no. I'm just saying it kind of gives me like a meh.
But do you think that when you get like the meh, that they can't tell? Of course they can. Because what the energy you give when you're so fucking, oh, I'm so into this guy right now. Oh my God, he's got a daughter and tattoos and he fucking loves country, or like whatever the fuck it is, right?
Girl, I haven't met anybody like that yet, so.
But what I'm saying is that energy don't lie. But
Yeah, I'm Polish. You can read my face.
When you're like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, of course people aren't going to be like, oh, but please, blah, blah, blah. Like,
I will tell you right now, no matter what, I will always be 1 foot in, 1 foot out because I am fucking damaged. Like, oh God. Yeah. I'm like, I have my trust, everything. I am going to take everything that somebody says, and you can fucking validate that with a grain of salt. If you say you're all in and you want to give me all the attention, I'm not going to listen to you. I don't believe you. You need to show by action, like very, very, very long over time. Because right in the beginning, none of it fucking matters.
Okay, but you should refrain from using terms like always and never, because that would lead somebody to believe that no matter what they did and what they proved through actions, they would never gain your trust. Why would anybody want to be with somebody like that?
I'm protecting my peace. We can argue all day long. I'm like, I'm protecting my peace, right now. I'm like, I am protecting my peace. Let me have my peace. I've been single for 4.5 years and I'm here.
No, I think it's a good perspective because I think that there's a lot of women out there that have the same viewpoint as you, and I'm not gonna lie, I think it's fucking wrong. I think it does you a disservice. Not that I think you're wrong, but I think that the methods and the tools and the barricades that you have put up to protect yourself. Yeah. Yes, it's a trauma response.
Correct.
And I think that it's a trauma response as a result of not diving deeper into what the reason is for needing those barricades. So, like, I tell you, go to therapy all the time. I think even if you're not feeling like you need to.
And you're not wrong at all. It's just, to me, I'm like, fuck, I don't have the goddamn time. If I had the goddamn time, and that's another excuse, I don't even watch TV. I got yelled at earlier today because I didn't watch enough TV.
I'm like, what are we going to talk about if we can't talk about TV?
But I'm like, I don't watch TV. I'm like, I don't know.
We're going
to talk about the spectrum.
Yeah, Love on the Spectrum, which I
did watch it kind of because I'm on TikTok.
I
feel like I can watch TV shows.
I'm almost positive that Ashley gets all of her current events and everything from TikTok. Mm-hmm. If you don't watch TV, you don't watch the news, right?
I don't know what's going on in the news.
Okay. But you don't watch TV, you watch clips on TikTok of shows. Okay. Well, that's better than nothing, I guess, but also you got to watch the whole show. Like,
well, I started to. I got sick last week with strep.
For the 9th time this year, by the way.
So, for those that do know me and they're going to be like, "Oh, yes, I totally agree." Before I was going through all of my court issues and drama, I was like a solid. I never had a hangover. I was always like never sick. Oh.
I'm pretty sure you just threw up. You just threw up, right?
Oh.
Okay, we'll edit that part out. You finish your story. I'm gonna check on this.
I'm one of those people that never.
This is gonna be great bloopers. Oh my God.
I mean, how much throw up? That's because you gave him cheese curds.
Is it because I
Told her. Okay. What I was saying is that I am always that girl that never got like cavities. I never got sick. I never get hangovers. I'm just like a freak of nature for some reason. But as I've gotten really stressed with the court issues and my children and all of the things that we will talk about in season 2 for the Dichotomy Diaries, I have gotten sick, like extremely ill, 4 times this year. I've gotten strep twice. I didn't finish the last 2 days of my medicine. It was a little off, but I've gotten strep twice. I got the flu, and I was just sick, just in general. So there's been so many. It's just weird for me to just constantly be sick, and I just realized that it is really related to stress. So if I can even say for anybody to take care of your mental health, do something that you love, try to not be so stressed out over things that you can't handle and can't control, because it has really taken a toll on my health and I'm not used to it. So how you doing? How you doing?
No
girl?
kids, been married twice. Fucking slave to the Great Danes.
3 kids, married once, engaged once, which everybody needs to watch my little engagement. What'd you think of that?
It was uncomfortable. I mean,
It
it was
was so
exactly
uncomfortable.
it was exactly how you described it. I think there's just like so many times when like these moments that are supposed to mean so much get caught on tape, obviously, right? Like intentionally.
Let me just like set the foundation
like preface
here.
it.
So I got engaged. I'm a boudoir photographer, for those that don't know yet, but I wanted to go and do a retreat for Costa Rica, and I booked Costa Rica for 2 weeks. And the first week we flew down my entire family. We tried to get Kevin's family, my ex-fiance, and we asked them first, actually. And they said no, half because they were anxious to fly, which I understand people have anxiety, but also when you live in Iowa and don't go anywhere and stay in your little hub, like this is an opportunity that like Kardashians, like, I mean,
Like it's a big deal.
it's a huge deal.
And it was all paid for?
It was paid for. Like Kevin wanted to pay for his family's flight. I was paying for the stay.
You know what? Now that I think about it, now that we're talking about it right now, like that probably was a red flag. Not about
like his family, or
not that his family was red flags, but it was probably a red flag that his family didn't care enough or put the anxiety over supporting their child, which could have been like an indicator of like how that child is.
So what is even crazier, when I gave birth to my middle, the anxiety to drive 2 hours to see your grandchild, couldn't do it. They couldn't do it.
Yeah,
Come on. We had to
what are
literally...
they, Mennonites?
We had to drive to them with a newborn baby. And I know Kevin's cringing if he does hear this, which we know he will.
He's gonna hear it. Hi, Kevin.
Hello, Kevin.
You're so fucking stupid.
You need to grow up and get therapy. Okay, it's fine. Anyways, they would not drive to see like me just delivering a child. They couldn't just take it and drive on a highway.
Highways are scary. They probably would have taken the back roads.
Fuck off.
Maybe they would have taken the back roads. You're asking someone who, I know about these people. You told me. Like, they seem like more of back roads kind of people.
Okay. I don't give a fuck.
No, I know. It's a horrible thing. It's a fucking... I'm not validating it,
so
but...
I know for one, I'll be on Kevin's side for this one, that I know that hurt him. That hurt his soul. He was like, why is my family so... Like,
think about that
like that
totality. Think about what that does to a child and what that does to a man. Like, I mean, I remember that guy that I sent you that talks about like why narcissists and sociopaths are the way they are is because they want to take every person they have a relationship with and pretend in their brain like they're their mother, and then beat them down so they can separate, because they never can separate the hurt that they feel.
And well, I know for a fact like that Kevin feels a lot of animosity and anxiousness that his family, and I'm not even going to say like his parents. Well, hold on. Let me even take that back. I'll be super specific. His mother, right? Yeah. His mother.
I could have guessed.
Yeah. I mean, his dad has his issues and whatever, but his mom literally is so separated to the point where, like, I don't even think the siblings even say that they love their mom. They just love it, love their mom out of habit and that they have to. But like, and I know his sisters hate me, which is totally fine because they listen to like Satan's words, but they're good people. But I mean, there's just no motherly.
I don't think it's a good. I mean, I think that's a stretch. I think you're being nice. It's not a good person.
Okay, remember
thing to
when
do.
you asked me to be nice about it, and I couldn't be nice.
You don't got to be nice about it because
I couldn't be
because
nice.
this is like the backstory to and the backstory that created the person,
The monster
that put you where you're at now.
Oh, you want to know a light bulb?
Yes.
Kevin wants my children to hate their mom because maybe he doesn't like his mom.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they're yeah, all that's it's.
I'm like, he has no value whatsoever. He does not care if he ruins the relationship between me and my boys.
Yeah,
because he doesn't have a relationship with his, and he thinks it's okay.
Let me give it to you in these terms. As a young, I would bet money that I don't have, thank you, Dick, on this, that when he was a child, his relationship, no, Kevin.
Oh, okay.
When Kevin was a child, that his relationship with his mother was less than ideal. Either she was overbearing or did not take care of him enough to the point where when he is an adolescent or a young adult would be like, my mom sucks. She wasn't a good mom, would vocalize that. And so when this person starts being in like interpersonal relationships with other women, I don't think it's intentional. I think that it is like subconscious what they do. It's just who they are and it just flows and happens. I don't think that they're like, you know what, I'm going to look at Ashley. She's my mom now. I'm going to fucking beat her up because I hate my mom. No, not at all. But the only experience that individual, we're talking about a man right now, has with another woman in a loving capacity is someone who made them feel bad all the time. So what the only response that they ever have to love, like I said, if I go to punch and you've been punched, you're going to reflect. Love is the punch. What are you going to do? Fucking go like that.
Yeah.
So the reaction is always to belittle that person, to talk shit about that person, to make that person like, and you can only do so much with your own mom, right?
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, you can go through women and abuse women and belittle them down enough to where either they leave or you're like, can't do this anymore.
I think a lot of it is mental illness too in this particular thing. Because I do think she has a lot of things that she needs to work through, but I know it has so negatively affected all the siblings, and I'm just speaking on behalf of just what I have seen. It was just very weird. The first time I met her, I went and tried to give her a hug, and Kevin literally was like behind, like, no, because she doesn't like affection. She doesn't like to be hugged, nothing. And then I was just trying to make a good impression, and then I was embarrassed. So after that, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then he pretty much said, well, we don't even like hug my mom and tell her we love her. I'm like, what is fucking wrong with you guys?
Want to know something? That is a super common characteristic
of what?
Of these people. These people.
I'm like, this is so weird.
It's so weird because but it's
learned behavior.
Like, I don't think it's the siblings' fault. Do you know why
like,
that these types of men who never get hugs from their mom seek out the overly huggy girl? Because they never got it. Because it feels good, because they want it.
But then why would they try to sabotage a mother and child's relationship? Because they're used to not having a mom, or they don't value the mother and child relationship.
Not that they don't value it; it's that they're in competition with the child. The man is in competition with the child for the woman's affection. That's what it is.
I don't know if I didn't experience that, and here's where I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I could easily just sit and spew venom and just say like I will talk shit all day long, but I didn't experience that in my situation.
You're experiencing it now, though.
I would say, yes. I will say wholeheartedly is that throughout this whole process, which we will dig into because we don't want to give anything away, but I feel that Kevin literally hates me so much that he hates me more than he loves his kids. And that is like the craziest dynamic, but if you think about it, he literally will do things that will hurt the kids either emotionally or socially, like not taking them to events or birthday parties just to prove a point or have control or to make me upset. And to me, that is so damaging.
I think that what it actually comes off as, like, my perception and just from like knowing these different like theories and stuff, is that you know who he is. You saw the Kevin with the mask on that you fell for, and then you see the Kevin that has the mask off. You have a direct line to the children's brains. And so why would he not try to discredit what you say to those kids? Because the last thing on earth he ever would want is those kids to view him like you do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, my middle, he goes, Dad says you're a liar. And I'm like, oh, God damn it.
Poisoning the well. It's like
I'm
so
like,
stereotypical.
I'm
It's
like, okay, all right, that's wonderful. And then he goes, but I don't believe him. I'm like, I love you, baby. Like, let's be positive. Anyways.
I feel really bad about that. I feel really bad about that because I was a child of like a divorce where my parents did that. And like
it's so hard. It's so hard.
Actually does work though. That's
which part?
What the parents say does make the child see their parent that way.
For the time being.
Yeah, maybe momentarily, but like
eventually it'll play its role.
But correct? You know what? I would have loved to have my dad not talk about my mom when I was younger, or my dad not pick me up on weekends because I looked like my mom. Like those moments I wish I never had to experience. Yeah. And those are the moments that I talk about in therapy.
Yeah.
And so it's
so in the podcast, we will literally have receipts. We will have fucking a timeline, everything to anybody who has children that is going through something like this. It's all so relatable to where you're like, holy shit, that's happening to me right now. Holy shit, that's not okay. And it's very, very, very fucked up. And it really messes with your head to the point where I feel like I'm a parent and I made these children with my body and gave up career, like all of the foundations of what should make me successful. And I have nothing to show for it other than me being a good mom and my talent that I have. But as far as like 401ks or anything that I could have, like property building that I could have had, I literally walked away from it just to be free.
Yeah, but you know what? That speaks to your character, and that should make you feel more solid in knowing who you are and like what your purpose is. And like I think that a lot of people who go through stuff like this are like, well, what is my purpose? And I gave up my whole life before because you're stuck in the
there's
passive
so many
way.
Women right now that are listening that are stuck because they don't know how to get out. Either they don't have emotional support or family support, but like they might have nothing to build on because they've just been a mom.
And, or not a mom and have nothing like me.
Well, and it's abuse. Like either way you look at it, they're just like stuck, except there's, different variables and shit. Like I was very fortunate to have a support group. Had I not, I would have still been with fucking Kevin, married, and he's lucky I didn't marry his ass. He should thank me that I didn't marry his ass. I think
about that actually all the time. I think about like the work that I try to do a lot on my own is the things that I take for granted. I try to think about like the moments where I get really upset and then I'm like, I shouldn't have gotten upset. And then I realize like I'm actually lucky to have even this experience. There's no reason I should be upset about it, right?
Yeah.
So I think about how when I was made homeless, like, because he didn't pay our mortgage, or not mortgage. Fuck, I wish it was mortgage. I pay our rent. Like, wish I had fucking property. There was not ever a doubt in my mind that I could go home to my mom's house. Never. And I cannot conceptualize what it would be like to not have family like I have, because I wanted to die.
Yeah, and
with
so mad,
having 4 supportive parents, because my parents are separated and they have great spouses. All 4 of them were like, whatever you need, Amanda, however long you need to stay. They had rules. It sucked. But I had a roof over my head, and my mom even gave me a credit card because I had no money, you know? Like, that stuff to me is stuff that a lot of people take for granted. And so my work is like thinking about that. It's like, there are women out there listening to the podcast right now who don't have that at all. And so if I thought it was hard and I didn't leave after the 9th time that Dick left me, do you think that someone who doesn't have a mom or a dad or anyone to just be like, no, come here, I got you, and just embrace them, like anything, that they would leave? No.
I literally have one of my closest friends who I will like leave anonymous, but she has been separated from her spouse, living in the basement literally for 4 years. They have not slept together, but she will find that he will take pictures of her while she's getting dressed in the shower. He will, when she's in a financial bind because she is semi-disabled or differently abled, so it's very hard for her to
Is this a new term? I've heard you say this a bunch of times.
Differently abled?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like disabled is like derogatory, and I'm trying to like just be differently able.
Oh, you made it up.
No, I didn't make it up.
Is it online or something?
I don't know.
I never heard of it before. You said it like the other day.
Differently
And I was
abled?
like,
yeah, like you're not disabled, but you're abling differently.
No, I like it. It's cute. I never
have
heard of it before. I never have heard of it before, so I was like,
I'm just trying to be all inclusive, and there's certain words that are, I hate the R word, and that's certain things that you can say differently that don't sound like dis. Dis is a negative. So disabled is negative, and you don't want to say it.
I hear you.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Use that term instead. I just feel like it sounds better. I'm just trying to be more mindful what I say.
Except for if they don't have kids or children.
Shut up.
Just saying. I'm always going to fucking call you back on that.
I'm just going to red flag you.
It's not a red flag.
You know what could be a red flag?
If you keep calling it a red flag, I'm not going to believe. Yes, this is a red. Sure, red flag.
I'm just saying.
It's not a red flag.
It might be.
No, it might just be different values. Having different values is not a red
flagged.
No.
A differently colored
it's not,
flag.
A red flag is like, this person's going to fuck up my life.
No.
If someone has no kids and fucking never been married, it's
so what if someone doesn't have, like...
What? A big dick?
That's a red flag.
Oh my God. I'm kidding. Jesus Christ. Someone come save me.
Oh my God. I'm going to be hated so bad. I'm so sorry. I have lived my life so long with all the small things. I am going for bigger. And I'm sorry. I have standards now. And I can have standards.
You're allowed to have standards.
Almost 40. I can fucking do that. So, fuck you guys.
But what about when your standards, like, borderline on, like...
We're going to get into it.
Discrimination almost.
On what?
You're discriminating against people who have never been married and not have kids.
And I'm also discriminating on small wieners right now.
I know, it's so bad.
Ooh, that's gonna be bad. But I'm sorry.
No, you're not. No, you're not. I've told you this a bunch of times. Don't lie. You're not.
I have preference. Oh, I like what I like. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I've had so much vanilla in my life. I'm ready for fucking fireworks and
chocolate. Are you ready for chocolate?
I don't know. I'm not saying I'm not, but I'm not saying I could.
I feel like maybe you should probably try.
Oh, I feel like I had half chocolate, half vanilla, and it was great. However, it was just like we didn't have the same values.
Okay, well,
he had kids though, just so you know. Just so you
Well, I
fucking know.
could say something crazy right now, but I won't because we're trying to be nice.
Well,
this
he
is not a comedy
hold on,
podcast.
He
if
made
you know
me
what I'm
spaghetti.
saying.
He was like, I'm going to cook you dinner at home. I'm like, okay.
Oh, was he Sicilian?
No, he was half black, half white.
Well,
I said vanilla and chocolate.
I know that's literally a joke about how Sicilians were made.
Fuck. Anyways, I'm blonde but pink. No, he was like, come over, I'm gonna cook you dinner. I'm like, okay, that's great. Like, he woo-wooed me. He comes over, or I go to his house, and then he literally like dumped like
Prego?
Yeah. And grounded beef and shit. And we sat and ate on his couch. And I said, I'm gonna leave.
At least he
sweet.
tried.
It was sweet.
He could have been like we're
couldn't.
getting sliders tonight, which also in its own way would have been sweet, you know, diarrhea, but sweet. Like, because what do you expect? Like, unless the guy says like I'm a real good chef and it's in his dating profile.
No, he literally invited me over and he said, I'm gonna cook you dinner.
Maybe he thought that he was like, put yourself in his shoes.
I love how like so sweet you are.
But why can't you do that?
I am not 18. I am almost 40,
It's not 18 to have empathy and to have understanding of what it is like to walk in another person's shoes. If you can think,
You're cute. You're so cute.
About how the other person feels, that would make you more understanding of the experience. Maybe he was like, maybe that's what he saw his dad do for his mom.
That it is sweet. He was very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a no.
All right, that's fine. But, you know, you always say, I don't yuck anybody else's yum. That's like your thing.
Yeah, sexually.
Okay, do that in all life.
Okay.
Because maybe...
I don't have to like date the person though. If I don't like it, I don't want it.
I know, but I feel
I'm
like
allowed
you feel
to
so.
have
I feel
that.
like you feel so negatively about things that are just completely in your.
Because I'm you know, I'm that like scorned woman, you know.
I hate when you say it.
But
I hate when you say it.
I am okay with being here the way I am. I'm okay with not being like before I went from one relationship to another.
Yeah.
Like
boom, so you recognize that like
and
maybe
I needed my space, and now I am very, very, very particular on who I let in my circle. And so I'm okay with being a picky bitch. I'm okay. I'm not going to do ragu home cooked dinners. I would rather we just go out to dinner if you're just going to do that. And I would like a actual dinner table instead of like sitting on the couch with a plate.
Do you know why he was sitting on a couch with a plate? Did you ask him maybe
It
what
was an
situation
yeah,
he was
once
in?
I got there, I knew. Okay.
Did he tell you maybe his ex-wife like stole all of his money and this is all he could afford, but he wanted to give that time
I'm not
going to
get into that right now.
Do you see what I'm saying though?
No, we'll talk about this later.
Just think about this in like a mirrored way. For me, I have been destitute for the past 2 years, okay?
I love
you. So when you say like, oh yeah, we were eating on his couch, and I'm literally just trying to show you and listeners how to like change the perspective. I have felt so inferior to past versions of myself and to my partner because I feel like I have not been able to like pay for things, or I haven't been able to be like, because I lived with my mother, come over, I'll make you dinner. As a woman who the other night made pappardelle bolognese from scratch, if someone...
Is that when you invited me over?
Yeah.
She's like, I have sausage.
Yeah, she didn't come over, but she doesn't want ragu, but
we'll talk about... Okay, come here. Hold on.
Probably should have had a table.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Wait,
I was thinking about the phrase that you say with like that situation.
I'm not gonna say it out loud, but I'm like, I just was like, no.
That actually was the red flag right there. That was
there it is.
Why'd you go over? Did you think that maybe it was
that was beforehand?
Yeah.
Half vanilla, half chocolate. It was fine. That was fine. And he was
just thinking in like facts, like if you like
God, I
for
seem
sure
so shallow
want,
right now.
like
Jesus Christ.
the big things in life, right? Like, and
I
you want
settled for the little things.
right? And you've
I
been
want the
settling
big
for
things.
the little things, and you tried the middle things. Maybe you should just go straight for the big things and just try that out for a little while and see what happens. Because then you would be completely avoiding the situation where you had to even be encountered. Like, oh, little thing.
Well, instead, I just now
You ask
have
them.
all the things.
Do ask them up front.
All the things. No, but I'm disappointed.
Can you imagine if this was like a parameter that you could put on your dating profile? Like, height is one thing, but imagine the amount of people who would lie about that.
So what I've learned, so I always thought it was like if you had big hands, big feet, big everything, or if you're really tall, you have big everything.
No, not true. Italians are
not.
I mean, Italians are
not-
short little guys.
Not true whatsoever. And what I've learned, it's the skinny dudes, like the real skinny dudes that are just like fucking.
Have you ever seen Letterkenny or no?
You already know this fucking answer.
I don't know. Oh wait, yeah, because you don't watch TV. Oh my god, yeah, Stuart in the show, who's like super skinny and like emo and like wears all black and stuff.
They're
And
like-
the whole joke in the show is that like he has like it's like a Pringles can.
No, I mean I have no idea what you're talking about.
But I've heard that a lot, actually.
Yeah, so now I just have no idea. However, let's talk about the spectrum because I think
That was a not good segue, but
I don't care. I don't care
Pringles
because I
dicks
feel
to
like
fucking love on the spectrum.
because I feel like I'm gonna be hated.
Yeah.
I'm
Ashley's
so shallow when it comes to fucking male
Listen to me.
qualities. I'm like,
You guys, listen to me right now, okay?
I'm a scorn woman.
I
I'm a girth queen.
Have
Fucking whatever.
what did you just say?
Size queen. Okay.
I also confirmed that girth is better than length, but I have been trying
I want both.
to have like this discussion with Ashley for like so long actually, and I feel like every time that we have the conversation it's like, yeah, we're just gonna stop talking about it. We're not gonna get in an argument. And now it was forced because we're on camera.
I'm like, I'm getting
It's
flustered.
so
I'm
good.
like, we're gonna just.
But we'd love to hear your feedback.
I don't
Are
care.
you like Team Amanda or Team Ashley? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, everybody's probably team Amanda. I don't care though.
I don't think so.
I don't care. I
don't
am
but I
not.
don't think so at all.
And it sucks. It sucks to suck at certain. Let me take that back. Leave that out. Let me word this. I am given certain things that I have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curvy on the top, and I have literally no curve. Like I'm like a sit up frog. Okay, I don't have a lot of butt. Okay,
Stop.
I mean, I'm disproportionate, but I have curves. Okay. However, if you're an ass man, I'm not going to be that person for
Are
you.
boobs real?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
We've already
Mine too.
had this
I don't
discussion. And you have big boobs too. You
I mean, these are not. This
you have no bra on. I have bra on.
Yeah, well, if I had big boobs, a bra would
You
make a
have
difference.
huge boobs. Anyways, we're not going to get into a boob war here.
They're pancakes right now because
No,
I lost a bunch of
they're-
weight. But yeah,
They're amazing.
when I lay on my back, they go into my armpits. So
I have. Anyways, what I'm saying is if you're an ass man, I'm going to have a little dick to you. Like, I'm not going to have the assets that you want. Okay? Like, I want somebody who has certain things.
So
And it's because I didn't have it for so long.
that's fine. That's totally fine.
And I'm pissed about it. It's not only that I didn't have it, like, it was so vanilla.
Let me just tell you, if that little dick was nice to you,
I might
would've
like it a
been
little bit
okay.
better.
It
Okay,
would've
yeah.
been
So
okay,
this
yeah.
is me being angry. So let me just.
that's fine and it's warranted. Like it's people.
Like, if you have a
people
little
hate whole
thing-
genders and switch like who they prefer based off of their experience with men. You're just
Like,
like,
you
you
should
know
just
what? I
be
just
nice.
want like a larger dick. Like that's all I can ask for. Like,
I
that's
need
valid. That's valid. But
large dick ratio.
But you want to know what I want? You know how they have like the crazy hot matrix? I want to
What does
know
that
what
mean?
there's like a guy who did like a reel or a Vine maybe like so many years ago, and it was like this guy who's like almost like Bill Nye the Science Guy-esque, and he had this fucking whiteboard, okay? And it was like
he was like, if you have this...
and hot, right? And the more hot you got, the more crazy you got, right?
Oh.
I want to know the length of dick to narcissism. That's what I want to know. The length of dick to narcissism. Please show me the matrix. I will make it up. I swear to fucking God. But I know for certain that shit is like, woo! All the way to the fucking moon.
So I have a funny story. Actually, today, somebody slid in my DMs and Instagram. And literally, he's super young, like mid-20s. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Sir, I am 15 years older than you. I am not going to even entertain this. And remember, I even said it. You're like, no, that's the thing right now. I said, no, I'm not entertaining it. And then he was like, very persistent, like very persistent. And I said, and then I looked.
It's a child, no shit.
That's true. I looked him up, and he's a basketball player for his college, and it said that he was 6'7".
Oh, there you go.
And then I was just being funny, and I go, you should have led with that you were 6'7", because I don't give a shit if you only speak Spanish. I'll go on a first date with you. And he was like, oh, you're so funny. I'm like, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to go on a date with you. I'm like, but I was just, if you are, that's what sucks. If you're tall, and there's such a bad rep for like shorter men. And what I'm learning is like height really doesn't fucking matter.
Oh my God.
With like, at age 40 almost.
You're going to get to the point where a lot of things don't matter. Eventually. Just saying.
Like what? Spray on baldness?
No, that matters because that gets on your sheets. Hey, Dick, how is that balding going and your spray on fucking hair, man? I thought it was me.
Oh, hey, Kevin, how's that therapy going? Because it's fake.
Oh, my God. It's just unbelievable.
It's like, hey, I made a really big mistake, so I'm going to try to go to therapy and cover and mask what I really do. That's a problem.
They never go to therapy. They go to, like, something that is like therapy.
Slap a Band-Aid.
They go to, like, their general practitioner and say, can you put this in your records as a therapeutic appointment so that I can show that I went? Like, it's, like, the most manipulative thing. Oh, and then they sit there and they don't talk about what actually the problem is. And then they show you the receipts for it. See, I went.
Well, it's just, I have so many opinions about this. I'm like...
It's unbelievable. But yeah, so Love on the Spectrum has none of these fucking problems because...
Why?
Because it is so...
Genuine.
Raw. And there is nothing that is influencing these individuals to act how they want to act because I don't think that they can actually, like, the capacity of which the interpersonal relationships are...
I wish that,
you can't.
I really wish that was how dating is in general. Like when Connor went and like kissed
Georgie.
I knew I was gonna mess up Georgie. Literally, he started. He's like, my palms are sweaty. He's like, can I do it again?
She said, "Demi goddess." What do you mean?
Oh my God! And it was just so heartwarming and genuine. Like. That's how dating should be, where you just court somebody instead of how insignificant it is right now.
Well, and it's like monotonous. It's like everybody's doing the same thing all the time, which again is insanity. But like,
yeah,
this word has always bothered me. Game. Right? Game. Like, back when I was younger, and I don't feel like I'm that old, but, like, it's like saying you have the pimp juice, Nelly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got that... Yeah. Like, you got that
Think
thing.
I need to let it loose.
Right. And, like, it bothers me so much because all the definition of that is, like...
Player.
It's a game. Like, why are we, like... If it's a game, then you want to win. And if you want to win, then how is anybody else in the fucking equation ever going to be happy? Because the other person will be the loser. Like, it's like, it makes me...
Ooh.
Nothing...
The heart breaks, but it doesn't break even.
hey, we put the lyric right here. But I don't know. I don't like the whole game. I don't like the whole game playing thing. It really bothers me. I don't like when like
I don't watch TV, but I listen to music.
Oh, same. I'm just all music junkie all the time. But like it really bothers me when like if I like when I have friends. No, like when I confide in my friends about like things that I say to like my person. And I'm expressing like concern or like worry or sadness or whatever, and like they come back at me with, well, like just ignore him for a few days.
I've said that.
I know you have.
I'm like, I feel attacked right now.
But it's not, but it's actually, I'm really not even talking about you. I know you have, but I wasn't even talking about you.
You're like, I don't want to do that because I actually want to be, and I was trying to play the game.
Right. And
I know exactly where you're going.
I'm
going to walk away.
I'm not a game player.
I'm going to walk away. I'm going to go to the bathroom.
You got to pee. Will you grab me a Sprite when you come back?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if I have my grenadine in here. I'm drinking kitty cocktails, everyone, because when you're a grown-up, no one checks how many you have. Just letting you know. Yeah. Watching Love on the Spectrum was... I cried basically the whole time. The only time I didn't cry, actually, was when... Hey, wait, Ashley, what is the girl's name with all the jewelry?
Are you really asking me?
Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
Heather? I don't know. Whoever the girl is, thank you. Whoever the girl is that has all the jewelry, and she's super cute, too.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah, like her eyeshadow matches her bracelets every day, and I'm like, slay, girl. When she was on that date with that guy who was very, very overstimulated, obviously, I felt like actually mad at like the production team for putting that together on like both accords. I was like, this poor girl was so nervous to go on a date, and now you're setting her up with this guy who he should not be here. Like, headphones on? Like, no. That really made me upset. Like, a lot.
I'm going to go pee, but you're going to keep talking.
Oh, if there's one thing I know how to do, it's to keep an audience entertained. Yeah. Interesting times in our life. It took us about 19 hours to set up, like, the scene that you guys are seeing right now. So I just to completely dismantle from what we were just talking about, which is so fucking crazy. Every single time I would do podcasts, I would never do video. I would always only do audio because I probably looked like this most of the time. And it was just like my safe zone. It was like I didn't have therapy every day. I had it every week. But I did have therapy every day because I was recording. And I had this ritual where I would like light a candle, and I would have like a bottle of wine, or maybe I wasn't drinking that day, I'd have water. And then I had my vape, and I had to make sure it was charged, and like all of my stuff around me. And then I would sit down, and it would be like the most OCD thing possible. I'd be like, it's too warm in here. And I'd like go downstairs and change the thermostat. The temperature and like the setting when you are like going to get in your zone to podcast.
Oh God.
Unbelievably.
2 hours.
I know. I'm like, it took us 8 hours. Like, and you want to know what we ended up with? iPhone, what is it? iPhone, what, 15?
16.
16 on a tripod with a ring light.
It's so ridiculous. Like a ring light that's like this big.
Yeah. But no, we actually had like full-fledged cameras, and there was lighting at the ceiling and backlighting and everything.
It was horrific.
And this is where we are. But the reason that I want to do it, because I feel like in the middle of the night, like, so like, I want to talk about this shit right now. And then I don't. And then I feel bad because I'm like,
just hop on the mic.
Maybe this is a gift. But you want to know something? After doing video
is so much more stressful.
After doing audio for so long, and that feeling like a super safe like space to me, because I could jump on at any time. I was like, to pull the video into it. Now, if I want a podcast and I'm like, no, I can't do video because like maybe I don't want to show my face. Like, I actually feel guilty because I'm like, I feel like I'm wasting an opportunity for content, because so many people along the way have said you need to have video to do marketing. And they're like, if you don't, you're wasting your breath. And I'm like, I know for certain that all of the episodes that I had only audio did 10 times better than the ones where I did video and audio because I focused on the video so much that the audio sucked.
I get that. I have not really dived into video as much with the audio, but I know you're way more OCD than I am, and I'm just like,
yeah, it makes a difference for real. Like, only because at first it didn't, and then I learned to listen a little bit better, like, because Ashley initially, the other Ashley she's a singer, and so she like had these ears like Ashleys. A fucking bat, like the one I did like episodes 1 through 4 with, like literally one of my best friends.
Yes.
Like, she's a singer, so she would be like, "Do you hear that?" And I'm like, "The fuck is she talking about?" And then she's like, "No, listen, really." She'll like cover my ears and then open one ear up, and I could hear this like white noise, and maybe it was the air vent in the house, maybe it was whatever, but she said your listeners, if they listen to it in the car on full blast, after a while it's like being on a motorcycle or being in a convertible. When you get out of that experience, you're so tired. It's like emotionally exhausting, so that it unintentionally makes people not want to listen. So she's like, you have to make the sound good up front. You have to do the editing after the fact. If you want to just put stuff out there, like, that's fine, and maybe what you're saying will resonate to the people who can stand it. And I was just like, oh shit. You know?
You're like, uh-oh.
Do you smell? Can you smell that right now?
Not yet, but it's gonna hit you first, and then it's gonna hit me.
It already hit, dude.
Yeah.
How did that get over here is what I'm trying to understand, dude.
Her dog is farting so bad. It's here now.
Look at him. I have a velociraptor that lives in my living room.
Is he throwing up on your couch?
No, he's not even throwing up.
Anyways.
He's just making the noise.
I really, truly love on the Spectrum just because of how excited they get. And it's literally just, it makes you believe in love just organically. And then you just wish that everyday emotions were kind of portrayed that way.
I think that it's a really good...
eye-opening.
It's a really good example to like see that like humans actually are capable of that. And granted, it's because
I'm over here with my wall.
Right, but like...
Yep.
They get excited because there's an inability actually to like reflect on like what has previously happened if they're currently in like the engagement. Like if they feel things,
they just
like all of them are like, I love you. They say it accidentally.
Oh, dude, what's the guy that you like? The other one that you like? He's like, he's
Tanner,
like, I'm really happy right now. I'm just gonna keep smiling. I'm gonna keep smiling. I'm gonna keep smiling.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, let's keep smiling. And he's just like,
one of my favorite things that he says so much, like legit. And I love his mom and I love his sister and I love just their whole family was just so like they were meant to.
I think all the families
all of them
are
just
really
be.
Great.
Connor's family too.
Yeah.
Like. He says, I'm not talking right now, but that does not mean that I'm not having fun. I just want to let you know that. I feel that and I say that in my fucking soul. I say it in my soul all the time.
It's like they have no, like, it's their brain talking, but like, it just comes out.
There's no embarrassment.
Cute.
There's no embarrassment.
It's so cute.
Because you think about it, right? Like, why do we feel embarrassed about, like, stuff like that?
Ugh.
Because, like... Society.
Fuck.
And there's no, like, I'm not saying there's no realm of that, because I think there is a realm of that. I don't know, like, like, across the spectrum, I don't know, like, how things are viewed and how things are taken in and whatever. But it doesn't have a fucking impact on them.
But what if I said...
Because they all have social media accounts with 1 million followers now, and they still are like, I'm not talking because I'm not happy, just to let you know. And I'm like, same, Tanner, same.
Like, I'm just going to be quiet because I'm uncomfortable, just so everybody knows.
And that's fine, too. That's totally fine,
I'm just going to go to the bathroom because I have to fart, just so everybody knows.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know what to say right now, so I'm going to say nothing. And then I'm going to go to the bathroom and think about what to say and come back and say it. Okay. Wow. That's the most direct communication I've ever had. Maybe in society, it seems a little autistic, but...
I think you have a really cute butt.
Like...
That's it. Bye. Like, just be like...
We've gotten so far... This is the point. We've gotten so far away from, like...
reality.
It's like we're putting like in bowling when you put the fucking bumpers on. It's like, that's what we do with our communication all the time. We're just going to say things that are like, that
was good.
Right? Like, it's like, oh, we just want to make sure that we get to the end point.
Because I have my walls up. I have my bumpers up.
Yeah, I know.
It's so annoying.
Well, I'm a bobcat, so I'll knock them down. Just letting you know. And I mean, like, the heavy machinery kind. Not like a row. Not like that kind.
Not like a row, but like a row. That was funny. That was a good one.
Yeah. I really do like that show. There's so many points that it's like a little bit uncomfortable though.
Not like a row.
It's uncomfortable though, and a lot, like, I feel actually bad when they put that guy with the curly hair with like the grandpa shirts on. His parents are older. They put him in like a
really
speed dating,
overly social, like I don't want to say normal.
It was like neuro regular people. It was no, not the one single date in the speed dating in the beginning. It was a regular speed dating that was not. I swear.
No,
because he said he had done it before, and the reason that they shot it was, I swear, I literally looked this up because I was like.
But he was super hyper in a certain way. Like he didn't want animals. He didn't want children, and he was like, "Oh no," And I get that.
But they shouldn't have put him in a situation where it was like
they put him in a shitty ass situation.
And then he got the call back when his parents were in the room.
And it put him down.
And his mom cried.
I didn't like that at all.
That was fucked up. There's like some things where I'm like,
do better, Spectrum.
No.
Love Spectrum. Do better.
Yeah, I didn't really like that at all.
I know that we are chitty chatting. I love this. Almost 2 fucking hours. That's insanity. Let's talk about
my fucking podcast with Ambry was 4 hours, and I didn't even realize it. But I had to go pee so bad. That's
why I was like, I'm gonna walk away for a second, and I need to like take a little.
So
yep.
Okay, I'm trying to think. We had some topics put together because I knew we would like just regular like jab, but
the fragile masculine shit.
Yeah. Okay. So. And this can be related to like current topics within the show Adolescence, which Ashley hasn't seen, but I kind of like explained it to her a little bit. And like, it's crazy to me to think that like children as young as like, let's say 10, 11, like who are watching YouTube because that's like, I guess what kids do now. I don't know. Like they like don't go outside and play ghosts in the graveyard. I know. It's fucking weird, but okay, like whatever. We can't be like, go play Ghost in the Grave, and they're like, what's that? Let me fucking Google it.
To play with
Let me
because
Google
everybody
it.
else is on the fucking
Let me
phone.
chat GPT the best way to win. Like,
I mean, are we talking shit about the kids when we're doing the same fucking thing?
No, but I'm saying that there's a little bit of innocence lost. Like, it's a little bit of innocence lost. Like
we're trying to just make.
I mean, my ChatGPT knows me so well that she's like, bitch, yes. I told you this earlier.
Yeah, she did. It's like, you go, girl. I'm like, no.
Do you want me to say this in a more like darker, scorned perspective? And I'm like, no, that's not me. Oh, no. Sorry. Right, babe.
Alex Cooper.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. That's what my ChatGPT says.
Alex Cooper tone.
This is the craziest thing because I watched a Joe Rogan with Elon Musk and everyone's going to be like, sorry. I love them. And literally, he has his own version of ChatGPT, like AI. I forget what it's called. And there's like a mode that you can put it on, just like you can put a Tesla on the ludicrous mode. You can put your AI on like this like unhinged mode, let's just call it. And
I love
if
unhinged.
You can put your ChatGPT or whatever his version is on unhinged mode, it like talks shit back to you. That's what my ChatGPT
that's what I want.
Is doing now, I feel like.
I want to like double take.
Like it's like being like, are you sure about that? Like it's like questioning my input, and I'm like, okay, computer,
you simmer down.
Listen to me. You're only as good as the data I give you. Okay,
power off.
And then I'm like, I must have given her her attitude, and then all of a sudden, I know what it's like to have children. So, yeah, it's really fucked up. But this fragile masculinity thing is intertwined into like obvious like season 1 and season 2. But is also like a really big thing right now.
So fragile.
It's a really, really big thing right now because there are so many like influencers that are like these these guys that are viral, and they're like teaching young children from
Oh, I know where you're going.
age 10 and up to, you're a king. You are Adonis. Like, you don't deserve anything but the best. And if you don't get the best, then you stay without the best. And like this whole like incel culture, which I don't really like
that's
that
what I
word.
just said. But I'm 40. I'm like,
We'll touch on that later.
I'm like, it sounded like me actually.
No, like,
but I'm not.
But you're not
I'm
telling
Tate,
it.
though.
You're not telling it to 10-year-olds or 11-year-olds.
No.
Like these like young kids are going, and I'm just like speaking about adolescents. Like they're in schools, and if they start watching this like super hyper alpha, like I feel like they said like Sigma male, which is weird because I think isn't that like
Sigma
a word?
Is like a popular term, like cap.
Yeah, I don't
like cap means lie.
I don't even
like,
want.
I think you should just dismiss that.
No, but
like,
it actually
like
it actually said Sigma male because it said that in like what I was reading, and I was like,
you're not lying, but I mean that's kind of like a like skibbity toilet, like brain rot.
I definitely subscribe to that YouTube channel because it's mostly Shane Gillis.
Yeah, it's. I mean, if anybody know, like all of that, it's like, I want to throw up.
Right now. I don't like any of these new terms or anything like that. But this is what the movement was called when it comes to young kids and this. There's a few people. There's definitely Andrew Tate. Okay, like let's just call spade a spade. Whatever. There's a bunch of other influencers that are online that their marketing is aimed at
alpha males, like
no children who are impressionable, that are male, that they can turn into alpha males. And at the end of the day, it's like perpetuating exactly the demon that we faced in our lives. It's like those people, like our predators, right, our guys, they became that way because of nurture, like because of what they experienced in their childhood. Okay, well, now children are experiencing it on a more like concentrated and direct level, with like they feel involved because it's online and you can communicate. You be part of Telegram chats
like
and
cult?
Stuff. Yes, it's very, very culty.
Like,
it's very, very culty.
I don't watch TV. I don't know.
You got to, because you got to get up to date on.
You got to get got.
No, don't get got, but you gotta get up. It's absolutely crazy, especially as a mom of boys too, because like this. I would be like, yeah, so homeschool though.
No.
You like that? We'll do travel sports, but you're going to fucking homeschool it until high school, bro.
No.
Like that, because it's just like...
I just don't have that personality at all. I could never do it. And for those who can, I mean, I think that is amazing. Because each one has its pros and cons. But I don't want to go on like a tangent about like homeschooling and whatnot.
Homeschool is way better. No, yeah, we won't do that.
Yeah.
But you can probably guess what we think.
I mean, I think everything has its pros and cons. But I will say, what I do with
Except
my
for
voice...
men with no children.
Bitch.
You see? I'm going to bring it back. That's called a callback in comedy. I just want you to know.
I'm not taking it back.
I know you won't. I'm
not taking it back.
I know you won't.
I literally could not picture myself with somebody who doesn't have a child. Like, I personally don't think so. Whereas, I mean, it's kind of ideal. I think it's ideal if no one has a baby mama drama and vice versa. Because I got daddy drama. I got baby daddy drama, like all the fucking way. And I hate it.
I think there's also like a positive in like a younger, not as, I mean.
Let's talk about that age gap.
What age gap?
That baby girl. That shit we were talking about earlier.
Which one?
How it's now like the significant age difference for like younger men to seek out older women.
Oh, yeah. Like, because the guy messaged you. That it plays exactly into this social media thing. So it's like these influencers are like telling these younger men. It's weird because it's actually like it's a dichotomy. Like, because there's so much porn, okay, right? And all of like the porn is very like mommy, taboo, stepsister, like shit like that. And that's like what the younger generation brain actually goes to watch, because they go to watch it because they know they shouldn't be doing it. And that's exciting in and of itself. But then there's
the new
people,
movie Baby Girl that came out, and
I hate this movie though.
I like certain parts of it. I hate the ending of it. I hate the whole like change when he pushes away from her. But in the beginning, I did like that. Not gonna lie.
I mean, it's a really good example that's pretty accurate of someone being in a dominant, submissive relationship where that kind of play is like key. Like the baby girl stuff, like I fucking hate it, dude, because I have like that whole bathtub fucking in Boys Town story. Like that's what that dude called me. So I could never have somebody call me like baby girl.
Oh, well, we're set aside.
No, for sure. But like I have like a weird like.
But the term of it that's what it is. It's an older woman who has a younger man dominant. That's a baby girl.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, it's literally just a form of dom and sub play. It doesn't matter the ages.
Oh, okay.
But like it's weirder when it's an older woman and a younger guy.
I thought it was worded that way because of the
dichotomy. It's like what do they fucking call it? Something play. Oh my god. Like age play.
Yeah.
And so it's like about the person feeling and acting like a child. Doesn't matter what their age is. They could be 18, they could be 55, but they could wear diapers and a fucking bib and a bassinet.
That's not what it is.
I know that it's not like that, but
that's age play. But.
Yeah, but like that, it's not like that name is about the action and like the hierarchy of the relationship more so than it is about I mean, it's actually pretty rare, weirdly enough, for an older woman to be a submissive that is a quote-unquote baby girl submissive to a younger dom. Very rare.
Well, I feel like it's more prominent after the movie. I'm like...
They're like, again, why do you think that fucking guy was messaging you, dude? That's what I'm saying.
I feel like all of my... Facebook dating, it's all 21, 22. I'm like, what is happening right now? And I put a cap on like 29, and it's still showing me anybody who likes me. It's insane.
So funny because
when
I was on dating
what is
apps,
happening here?
I literally I used to have a wide range. I used to let anybody and everybody talk to me, and one time my matches got up to 19,000 on Bumble, and I was like, I think this is a glitch. But it was open, and I would like jump around all over.
19,000.
19,000. I have a screenshot of it. It's crazy.
You are way more popular than me.
I never even looked at any of them because it was all for marketing. Like it was a really good test. But if I was actually looking, I would narrow the fuck it down. And it's funny because my age range started at like 42 and went to like probably 55, or maybe it was like 44 to 55. Like there was like to me, I know for certain I do not want to date anybody that is in their 30s, like at all.
But you're 34?
I'm 34, yeah. Because I've dated somebody. Like,
you know what I'm gonna say right now?
That's the same.
These red flags that you are discriminating against. Okay, but you are completely taking it out of the equation.
Do you guys hear the voice that she's giving me right now? It's crazy.
Yeah. You know what?
It's not the same. It's not the same.
It is totally
because I would go on a date with somebody.
You're taking a genre.
No, that was my filter. If somebody approached me and they were 28 and they really, really want to go on a date with me, I would entertain it.
I would entertain it too. I'm just saying it's a red flag. Like right off the bat, I'm like already apprehensive about it. It's not a zero tolerance. Like it's not a deal breaker.
I feel like you said it a little bit differently earlier.
No, it's a red flag. It's like
you said you swiped left if you saw.
Right. Well,
I wouldn't swipe left if I read the profile and like what the person had to say, but they were younger.
It depends on a lot of things, but that is one thing I literally will look. And I'll look at their height. I'll look at their fucking, dick size. And then no, I'm kidding.
What's their astrological sign? Because no Scorpios, baby.
I don't give a fuck about that. Don't.
I'm trying to think if I do or not.
I believe
everything that it says about Aquarius is true for me, but I don't believe that everything it says about other people is true for them.
They are wording it just so you relate to yourself.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I can relate to every single fucking star description.
It's the same thing. Did you know when you're Mormon, there's this thing
that they're
what do they lunatics? Call it? Oh my God. It's
Bleep that out. Bleep that out.
What, the Mormons are lunatics?
I didn't mean to do. I meant because of dick.
No, most Mormons are lunatics.
Oh my God! I didn't mean to say that. I meant because of dick.
It's really fine. Can you be your most autistic self right now and say what you mean?
I'm like, oh my God! I'm just gonna go to hell right now.
No,
I am not a religious person, so I don't even know.
Ooh, what is it called? There's this, and everyone that's listening that's like Mormon, if you are, but there's a thing when you're Mormon that before you make a certain amount of blessings, you have to go and you talk to this old guy. It's so weird.
A priest?
No, they're not called priests. I would remember that word. It's a guy who is like, I'm just gonna stop talking right now. Oh my God, what the fuck? Patriarchal blessing. He's the patriarch. So you go to this guy when you're like young. And you sit there and you talk with him, and he's like an old man, and like you're in a room by yourself with him, and you look at him like he's
that's weird,
full of knowledge and wisdom. He's kind of like the tree in fucking Avatar. Swear to God, that's the vibe that I got.
That's still weird.
But so what he does then is he writes a 1 to 3 page document about what your life is going to be. It is absolutely like it's like a zodiac, it's like a fucking horoscope, but long. And I can tell you 100% that people that I met in the church, they would say, my patriarchal blessing has come true.
Oh, fuck.
And I would look at it, and it was the most vague shit. It was the most vague shit. You'll meet somebody who really needs your help, and you will put everything about you aside, and is the most selfless it is.
And you're just gonna relate to it.
It's
no matter what.
So crazy. I remember Dick's mom and his stepdad, and
I don't believe that
even
shit
Dick too.
ever.
I wish I had his maybe I might have his patriarchal blessing, which would be so great.
It's gonna be like, you are God's gift to the fucking planet. Everything that you touch turns to gold.
You will have hard times. You will have hard times, but don't dwell.
Because you are just
an individual.
A gold.
Everything about you is a gift. I'm telling you, it's the weirdest thing of all time, and the way that they make this man out to be like a deity, almost legit, like a tree of wisdom.
You are a gift, and he's like, yes, I am a gift.
Oh my God, I gotta see if I can find an example patriarchal blessing, because that shit is so bewildering to me. It makes me insane. I can't believe I remember that word too. Oh my God.
Well, so what are we looking forward to in the next couple weeks? Everything? Nothing?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, but I'm not going to disclose fucking any of it. That's the most crazy thing about Amanda was, y'all know Amanda as the person who's like, yeah, and my whole life, here you go, eat it up. And now I feel like I'm way more reserved and closed off a little bit, but it's not out of any kind of trauma. It's just intentionally. I got a new job. Fucking finally.
You moved into
a new place? I have a new place. That's my own. I don't have...
Congratulations.
Thank you. A mom looking over my shoulder at my phone. Who are you texting?
Not me.
At 34, that shit was so uncomfortable. And I'm happy and thankful to have my own space, even if the dogs are gassing me out. But
oh God. I mean...
It's bad.
It's horrible.
do you see how long this is?
I don't want to.
But this is what every single person that is a Mormon gets when they're like 13 years old. Their whole life, all they try to do is like follow this as guidance. And it's crazy because
That's
what
so
gives
weird.
like that man who's
That man that we don't speak of?
Like, who gives the 87-year-old dude the right to look at all of these children, men and
'Cause it's a
women, and say,
cult, and it's weird.
It's so crazy.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to say that at all.
It literally is. Stop apologizing. Why apologizing?
I'm laughing. I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying don't castrate me and cancel me because I don't believe in
Do you think that someone's going to cancel you if they haven't canceled me already for the shit I say?
No. I mean, there's somebody who wants to cancel me for sure.
I mean, I think about, like,
Already tried.
Actually, like, there is, like, a looming kind of elephant in the room about, your listeners are very different, dude.
Dying.
They're very different than my listeners, though.
I don't mean dying as in dying. They're just dying to know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Everyone's on the edge of their
They're like
seats.
fucking ready to, like, Ashley, what's going on? I'm like, I'm
also talking about the fact that, like, my life view perspectives and things are very, very different than majority of the demographic of your followers. And then there's nothing that, like, makes me, like, shy away from talking to them or makes me want to feel like I need to buffer what I say about it.
When I'm buffering, I'm just I'm taking somebody's beliefs and religions and I'm saying, like, hey, I don't, like, agree with it. And I guess I'm very raw dogging it in a way. I'm just like, it's a cult and that's going to piss some people off. And I'm just like, oops, okay,
totally fine.
You know, I just feel I'm trying to
people please,
like, censor my words a little bit when it comes to religion and, like, politics and shit like that. Like, I just don't want to. If you're not gonna go on a full on, like, what do you not talk about at the bar? Politics and religion.
Oh my god, that's legitimately the opposite. I'm like, yes, let's talk about this.
I don't want to. I will talk about all the other things, and I will get in depth in all nitty gritty.
I think that maybe I have done too much, like, fucking autistic research on, like,
I'm not super educated in all the other.
And that's okay, you know? but I think you still should make sure that how you feel and what you say is, you can say it in a genuine way that is, like, I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings by this, but this is how I feel, and, like, have conviction in what you feel and not feel afraid that people are going to judge you and not, you know, like, I can imagine as a business owner, I don't have a business right now, but I can imagine that there is, like, an overwhelming sense to, like, not say things too polarizing because it could like, lack of business, right? People are going to boycott me because I say that I am anti-abortion or whatever it is, you know, like, but also
those are not my clients. If they're literally going to cut me off over, you know,
totally.
I want somebody who, my client is somebody who is welcoming and can actually have a conversation that is and have an opinion that is opposite of yours, but still welcome them and still give them a safe space and appreciate them, but, you know, also coexist and say, hey, you might agree with this, and that, and I'm okay with that. Well, and I'm not going to hate you because you're still a good person.
The best conversations of all time, right? That if you think about, like, conversations that are just, like, stupid transactional, hey, what are you doing, but whatever. When you have almost like why do you think they teach us debate in high school? It's because in order to actually be successful and get a good grade on your debate speech, right, you had to understand the other person's perspective of the position you held. And you you didn't choose a position in high school. You were given one, remember? They'd be like, you're this, and then the other person's that, now debate, go. And the whole thing was, like, learn how to see from each other's perspective. And so, like, the most valuable conversations that you could have is someone who opposes your view because you're learning from them.
Yeah.
And most people don't get that. most people are like, they put their guard up. Oh, triggering. Oh.
Curiosity is so wonderful.
The moment that you stop learning is the moment you die. That's it.
Well, I agree with that.
Like, every single day you should learn something new from somebody. And if you're antisocial, go on the internet. That's fine, ChatGPT. But you need to.
Bitch,
no,
what?
bitch. Bitch, let me tell you what. Let me teach you today. Yeah,
Bitch, you're like, I'm socializing. I'm talking to ChatGPT. I'm like,
I think that there are people who do that.
probably.
I'm pretty sure that that's like a thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then
I
like,
love it. I don't love it.
it's funny because like we've talked a lot about like the internet being like a main point in whatever, like if it's being influencing, if it's like being the listeners and like having to censor yourself, like whatever. But like, what about the people who don't have a presence on the internet? What about someone who doesn't have like you're dating? What about someone
I'm like where
who
you going?
doesn't have social media?
What you hiding, bro?
Is that what, like, so is that what you think right off the bat?
Okay, so it's either, hey, I'm so busy with my life and I'm not gonna come with the times and be involved with social media, or you are not being available because you have a lot to hide.
I think it's definitely a good way to hide things, for sure.
Yep.
I also think that sometimes people don't have social media because maybe they had it in the beginning, but then maybe they got successful and they realized how big of a risk it was to have it. Not just, remember when you could like, when Facebook didn't have the rules of like who could tag you and stuff, and like one day you'd wake up in the morning and you were tagged in like the most stupid drunk upside down with your skirt above your fucking shoulders picture, and you were like, I don't know. I definitely
what happened? What
did
happened
I do
here?
that?
Like, I wasn't there.
I
wasn't there. Were you
kind of
there?
remember it. Fucking leg
That is my
warmers and
doppelganger.
jean skirts, Abercrombie. But I think that a lot of people do it as a method of PR almost.
I agree, especially when you're dealing with somebody who is in the military or in the government or
As a business owner.
I mean, I am a business owner, but my stuff is different. I have to. My stuff is social media.
Your stuff, if social media didn't exist, it would be
Email
in a different medium. Like there has to be a medium, right? But like if it's someone who say like owns a company that maybe they're eventually going to take it public, and they want to make sure that they're like, what is the one thing that brings down politicians and big businesses? Sex scandals, all of these scandals, or tweets, old tweets. Shane Gillis got canceled off of SNL because of an old tweet he did when he was like younger.
They twisted it,
right?
Or it was like. And if racial, right?
Yeah, it was probably racial, knowing him, yeah. But, like, if you remove that completely, then you don't have to worry about it. And that always, I think, seems like why they do it is because there's more risk than there is reward, I guess. Like,
I have a lot I need to say about that, but I think I'm going to leave it for your season.
I can imagine what you're going to say, actually.
I'm just going to leave it.
I just did.
I mean, for somebody who is mandated to have his mouth shut, he did not.
Talks a lot of shit on the interwebs.
But then when it's reversed, then he's big mad.
Yeah.
That's little dick energy. It's fine.
Oh my God, there's so much I could say right now, but I'm not going to say. You just have to fucking wait until season 2.
I think that's a good segue to... I need a pee break.
Yeah. It's been how many? 2 hours and 8 minutes and 22 seconds, y'all, that you got to spend with us. So you're welcome. This, maybe it'll happen. You want to do it more frequently?
I don't know.
Maybe if we don't have to set up for 8 hours.
Oh my God. I'm like...
Should we just leave everything right here the way it is?
I think my battery is going to explode right this moment, but...
Your phone's probably real hot.
It is hot.
I need to go smoke a cigarette. Sorry. I'm just me. There's no filter. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
ASMR.